At this depth, the ship doesn't shine. Only the beam tells me it's real. Your first anchor decides whether you return as a diver or a story. Line first. Curiosity second.
Choose the opening that forgives mistakes.
If I don't fit cleanly, I don't go. A line touching metal is a line that may not last. One snag here becomes a trap.
Even broken corridors preserve how people moved through daily life.
Large voids are landmarks when everything else looks the same. A famous space, reduced to structure and silence. Labels turn anonymous objects back into documented travel. People hide where structure feels like protection. Administration survives as layout, long after paper disappears. You read the wreck through what refuses to dissolve. Seals outlast messages because they were made to resist handling. I open only what the wreck already opened.
Location is the evidence. Removal is the loss.
Wedges keep things where currents can't.
Tiny tools point to roles, clerks, officers, routine.
Workplaces become last places when exits vanish. From paperwork to food, two kinds of survival. The galley fed thousands. Now it feds only decay. Inventory tags are the ship's handwriting in metal. One door, one chance to keep the corridor clear. If you can't see, you stop. Corner wedges preserve what movement destroys.
Small tools hint at specialized work and habits.
This corner kept what the corridors lost. Contain the silt, protect the root. Porcelain holds its shape when wood turns to paste.
Surviving shapes help us identify rooms with confidence.
Small boxes preserve the smallest histories.
Some things survive by being overlooked. Even private spaces became shelters.
Force only what you can control.
The wreck answers every opening with dust. Suites sold comfort. The remains show hierarchy. Personal hardware survives where textiles fail.
Minimal disturbance preserves interpretation.
Corners become decisions made too late.
Visibility is the real resource.
Where there's maintenance, there are parts.
Curved frames are where gear gets grabbed. Workspaces preserve the ship's backstage reality.
Stamped tags are time-stable identifiers.
If the ceiling talks, you listen.
The doorway became a hiding place.
Leaving clean is as important as entering clean.
Flow pulses down here, short windows, then stillness. Next, I follow the ship upward, toward where decisions were made. Upward should lead to the ship's decision rooms.
Curved rings are where divers get pinned. Go slow.
Pressure outside, pressure inside, no sudden moves.
Command areas were layered above ordinary life.
Tables are where decisions leave marks.
Navigation rooms leave hardware, even when paper is gone. Partial tools still show the workflow.
Cases survive where contents don't.
Even fragments can confirm instrument types.
Overhead hazards don't need contact to become problems.
Every dangling piece is a question.
This room once turned an ocean liner by inches.
Stamped plates can tie a location to a specific control system.
A crack is permission. Forcing is damage.
Communication hardware survives as parts, not as function.
Command spaces still contain human traces.
Where water moves, the ship breathes through gaps. A glimpse outside resets my sense of direction. From here, officers watched a flat sea and trusted instruments. Next, the ship's voice to the world.
Small openings keep small consequences. The room exhales a century of dust.
Wireless turned distance into urgency. Tags and brackets map where equipment was mounted. If it's wedged, it stayed when the ship tore. Document the context, leave the context intact. Some shelters were offices.
Keep the corridor usable. Officers lived close to command, near alarms and duty.
Small rooms, big responsibilities.
Small metal objects often stay where the last hand left them.
Names can survive as metal, even when ink cannot.
Duty stayed close to the bed.
Don't spend your exit for one more look.
Higher isn't always better. Sometimes it's just emptier.
Downward slopes collect trouble.
Public rooms collapse into geometry, but the footprint remains.
People hide what matters, even when there's no time.
Small containers preserve small choices.
Predators use structure, like roads. Avoid the openings.
Silt collects where paths meet. Don't step into it. The ship narrows without warning.
Wedged means it stayed put.
Open small, learn much. Shelter kept both valuables and remains. Back out clean, don't stir what you can't see.
Moving metal means choose a different path.
I leave myself notes because the ship won't. From command back toward labor, the ship's other half. Next comes the ship's muscle, iron and confinement. The ship's corridors turn from comfort to machinery. Follow pipes and you find the ship's working spine.
If I get pinned here, there's no easy turn.
This is where the ship's endurance was manufactured every hour. In machinery spaces, snags are everywhere.
I don't force metal in a room full of sharp edges.
Stamped tags help identify systems long after labels vanish.
The boilers still feel like walls.
A hatch can be an exit or a silt trap. Every cavity holds a century of dust. Wedges preserve location. Location preserves meaning. Closing preserves the site as much as opening reveals it. The ship's muscle is ahead, tight and heavy.
Commit only when you can reverse.
Here, power was converted into motion. Now only shape remains.
Loose loops are silent hooks.
Stamped units tell you what the ship measured: pressure, heat, speed.
Numbered tags help reconstruct wiring routes.
I move where the metal is simplest.
Wedged objects are safer to inspect.
A toolkit shows maintenance culture, not just parts.
Even here, someone sought cover.
Sound is movement. Movement is risk.
This is where the ship become a tunnel.
When it goes white, you become a statue.
I move only when the floor is visible again.
Flow through cracks tells you which rooms are connected.
Not everything down here ignores you.
Below decks, the ship was a layered machine. Bent headers love to grab tanks. Service bays leave clues in access panels.
Part numbers are the wreck's vocabulary.
Supply crates become time capsules when they're pinned.
Small parts explain large systems.
Even machinery spaces became hiding places.
Leaving is when you kick the most, so don't.
The corridor climbs toward the ship's largest iron. This was the engine room's architecture, built to hold power.
Curves steal clearance without warning.
Big iron creates small pockets.
Niches act like sediment traps, good for small artifacts.
If it's loose, don't pass beneath it.
This route once carried engineers between stations.
Small openings reduce the mess you can't undo. The wreck answers every door with dust.
Compartments like this held the ship's hidden systems.
Tags are the bridge between wreck and blueprint.
Shelter is a pattern, no matter the room. Keep the main route clean for the return. From power to control, next I follow the ship toward the stern.
Aft means control, rudder, linkages, and narrow spaces.
Shaft alleys are clean lines until one bracket becomes a hook. Every protrusion is a potential stop sign.
Commit only if you can reverse the same way. Maintenance items often remain exactly where the routine ended.
Stop first. Think second.
The ship gives warnings. I take them.
Even the machine's corridor had hiding places.
Aft roots punish sloppy alignment.
Steering is behind this wall, if the wall lets me. Open less than you want.
A ship's control lived in rooms most passengers never saw. This geometry translates small inputs into a turning ship.
Numbers here can match manuals and drawings.
Small doors can make big messes.
The port rooms often hold the ship's most traceable tags.
A place built for control became a place to wait.
Stern spaces change fast, mark everything. Here, the ship is no longer corridors, it's fragments.
Pinned luggage stays readable. Loose luggage disappears.
Dense metal items often sink into the same corner together.
Labels can connect artifacts to passenger records.
Stern collapse patterns can funnel people into dead ends.
Short entries only. Stern spaces punish lingering.
If the ceiling moves, change rooms.
Open water means clear orientation.
The stern tells the story of breakup and impact.
External views help confirm internal steering room geometry.
Control becomes hardware down here.
Industrial scale is unmistakable, built to move an ocean.
Re-enter only if the exit is already secured. I'm looking for a room that still has its shape.
Distinct fixtures confirm the room's function, even in collapse. Even small drawers hold too much dust.
Bathroom hardware often preserves personal items in place.
Shelter repeats itself behind anything solid.
Aft spaces carried supplies, luggage, and the ship's necessities. Cargo pockets keep what open decks scatter. Dense items settle and stay, especially when wedged.
Some hid with their belongings.
Return route stays sacred. Markers keep the ship from becoming a maze.
Now I trade discovery for distance, back through known space.
Pulses like this can change visibility in seconds.
The ship gives a small window, then closes it. Slopes help until they end in a pinch point.
I don't rush the bends.
The ship's scale is constant. Our margin for error isn't.
Back to the route I trust. A single arrow can save a life down here. One final pocket, then I leave. Ajar means minimal disturbance.
Pairs, like cufflinks, hint at formal dress and class.
Low pockets keep what currents can't reach.
What's under beds is often what people dropped in a hurry.
A panel can be the last wall someone trusts.
Exit clean, no extra clouds.
Landmarks beat guesses.
Voids are the ship's surviving map. Last note to myself. Out. Return legs are where mistakes stack up.
The tier looks the same, meaning I'm in the right place.
No contact. No surprises.
From outside, the wreck reads like a ruined city wall.
Large animals patrol edges, stay tight to structure. One opening in a giant ship, and it feels like a doorway to time.
Scale is the first lesson, then comes humility.
Tiny scatter can mark where larger structures failed. It's not a ship down here, it's a landscape. Leaving is part of respecting the place.
The wreck is evidence, steel, silence, and absence.
The ocean closes the door the moment you leave.
You don't take the wreck with you, only what you recorded.
Down here, the environment resets fast. Evidence fades into sediment.
We came to witness, not to claim.